Another important component of printing, be it Excel workbooks or other documents, are headers and footers. Now, headers and footers are components that print in the margins of every page. They contain information about your spreadsheet, such as page numbers, date and time, file names, and even disclaimers. Functionally, the difference between a header and a footer is only placement. A header is typically at the top of the page, and a footer is at the bottom. Now, headers and footers are only available in the page layout view or through a dialog box. So let's go up to the View menu and choose Headers and Footers. And now you see here we have a simple little drop down for each section. This first white box here is the current header, and below here is the current footer. So we can go click this drop down and see that Excel's prepared a bunch of headers that it thinks people use a lot. We start off with just a simple page number, and then the page 1 of question mark, and that question mark is the total number of pages. If you might have seen it in a document, 1 of 15, 1 of 10, that's what that does. Headers and footers. Now this is actually the name of the worksheet tab. It's not just because we're in headers. It's the tab we're on right now is headers and footers. You have confidential, a date, and a page number. Anytime in these header and footer dialog boxes that you see a comma, that means it's going to put it in another section. Typically there's 3 sections in a header and a footer. There's the left side and a left justified, middle, and a right side. So let's go ahead and look at a few of these on your own. And you see how it puts headers and footers on the left, confidential in the middle, page 1 on the right. But let's go ahead and end up on confidential, 429, and page 1. Now let's set up the footer. A couple things I feel are important with headers and footers is that they're consistent and somewhat meaningful. Consistency in theory is easy. Once you settle on a configuration you like, just use it for all your documents. As for setting up meaningful data, think about what is most important to see for reference in your document. Things like the file name, the author, the date, the page number are all important items, and it's up to you to determine which one you want to present in the footer section. So in the footer dialog, we'll click the drop down like we do the headers, and it's pretty much a lot of the same options. But again, sometimes you want to put different things in the footer than you do the header. And we're going to go down and choose the footer that says Headers and Footers, Confidential, and Page 1. And click OK. Now that will be printed on every page that prints out, as will the header. And we can go ahead and click OK. Then if we went to our print preview, we could see that. If you see here the quick preview, we've got the header on the page. As I scroll through my pages, my header and footer now are going to print on every single page. Now we have a pretty good header and footer, and these will print out on every printed page of your worksheet. Let's just tweak them a tad more, however. The header's good, but let's change it a little bit. Let's remove all the items in the left and middle sections and only display the date in the right section. Let's go back to the header and footer dialog. So View, Headers and Footers, and we've got our header up here. And let's go down this time and click the Customize Header button. And now the sections are really broken out. You see exactly what's in the left, the center, and the right. And here's the thing. In any section, you can type whatever you want. The left section is going to be left justified. You can type in my special document, sales presentation, etc. But we wanted to delete what was in the left, so let's go ahead and do that. Now in the middle section, we have a date, but it looks a little strange. It's got this ampersand, and then the word date is surrounded in brackets. Excel has special fields or variables that we use in headers and footers, and they enable us to have values that may change. For example, this date value here. If we print it today, we want it to show today's date, but if we print it a week from now, we want it to show that date. We want it always to show the date that you're printing, and that's why this is in there as a special field, and we'll see how to do that. But for now, let's remove this date, and then tab over to the right section and just remove that. Now we want to insert the date. Now we don't just want to type in the date. So like I said, that'd be hard-coded. If we print this out a week from now, it would say 4/30 of 2013. So here's where we need to use these fields that are right above these sections. We've got to format text, insert page number, insert number of pages, insert date, time, file path, file name, worksheet tab, and insert a picture, and that's where you can put a logo or something. So we're going to go ahead and insert the date, and that puts in that special field that Excel recognizes will be a date. So let's go ahead and click OK. Click OK again, and we can see what that looks like. Go to our layout ribbon and click the preview. And you see that date appears at the top, 4/29/13, but it's a little bland, so let's add something to it. Let's go back to View, Headers and Footers. Click on Custom Headings. We've got the date field, but there's no text in front of it. So again, like I said, we can just type text. Let's type in report run date and put a colon and a space. And now it'll put the text report run date, and then it'll insert that date field. Report run date. Makes a little more sense. I know that this date represents the last date the report was run. Okay, so now for practice, we're going to go ahead and modify the footer as well. We're going to do it a slightly different way though. From the Layout tab, let's click our Page Layout command. And it's also down here in the lower left at all times. I can click that. And now you see in the page layout, you see the header and the footer appear on every page. One thing that's kind of neat though is you can actually click in those sections and edit the headers and footers. So let's go to the middle section, and what you can do is just come down to where it says confidential and double click on that, and you will see the header section that you're in kind of become highlighted. The rest of the worksheet grays out, and you get a toolbar that has all of the header and footer tools with it. Same ones we used before. So we want to get rid of confidential. So we'll just highlight it and hit delete, just like editing text. And we're going to put the page number here instead. So let's type the word page, hit a space, and then use the icon for page number. That's this one right here with the number sign. That's going to say page 5, and then type the actual word of. And the next icon is number of pages. So our footer says page, ampersand page of ampersand pages. When I click off of it, it says page 1 of 10, or page 6 of 10. If I scroll down, I'm on page 2 of 10. So let's go over and edit the right section of our footer. We've got the worksheet tab on the left, and we want to leave that there. So we'll double click the right section. We've already got our page number, so let's go ahead and delete that text there. And here, we're going to put the file name. We might even put the path in the file name. Sometimes if you have a printed report, you might want to know where the soft copy or the file is. And that's why I always like to put a file name in my footer so that it reminds me where it was. The file name by itself is good, but it's even better if you attach the path to it, because then people will really know where to find it. And you can put a space there if you'd like. And we'll go ahead and see what it did. Go ahead and close the headers and footers. Now sometimes you can't print the actual path because it's too long in this case, so I'll go in there and I'll get rid of the full file name and path. Now we just have 08 viewing and printing options XLSX. So there you have it. The headers and footers can give us a consistent place to put useful information about a worksheet and workbook so that people can reference it on a printout. Although Excel provides several useful fields that we can use to make our headers and footers more useful, probably the most important aspect of using headers and footers is just ensuring they're consistent, not just in one document, but in all your documents across your organization.